So let's start. We have prepared different pages here. This was the first one. That was the second one. You have to add something here. And this is what we did last time, last Tuesday. Was it? Yeah. So we prepared something like that with the basketball court and something about the ventilation, people, sun. We had the sun paths here in winter, summer, and spring or fall. And today I want to prepare the fourth sheet. And what is it? Well, we have to analyze the building. So we have analyzed, if you show this perspective, here you can show this roof, which is something singular in this building. Okay, so here we have different layers for this building. We have the beam system, we have these tilted beams, and we have the roof on top. So here you can define this. Then we have to define this sawtooth roof, and we did it here, but we analyzed this section. We didn't analyze this other section, how we work with this floating wall. So first, it doesn't have to be a floating wall. So now we need to find a structure for this element. Okay, and we have to define all these. Okay, if you go over Canvas, I have uploaded some examples for this basement detail. Okay, so here you have a basement, a PowerPoint. Well, here you have a lot of information about this, and you have a lot of information, especially texts, okay, because I didn't write anything here, but here you have all the elements, and if you don't know how to name something, so this is a perimeter drain system, and this is a surrounding porous gravel. Okay. So here you have a lot of information about the dam proofing or waterproofing. So you can copy all these texts, and you have here different examples with different materials. It's always the same. We need a wall. So if this is a foundation wall, or is it a basement wall, a retaining wall, then we need here we need to protect this against water, this brick or concrete or whatever. We need to protect this against water. Then we have this gravel or aggregates, and here we have this pipe so that water can go down, and the water will end up going out from this point. We can have another drain pipe here inside the building, but you can copy, well, copy. You have already done the detail, but if you need text, you can take the text from all these examples here. Okay, so all of them are good examples, and well, basically you have to try to do the same. Well, this is something, this is slightly different. And this is, well, I will explain this. I will stop here for 30 seconds because I want to explain this option. Usually, we tend to protect the building outside. Okay, so all the waterproof layers and all this gravel and the drain is outside. In this case, you see that we don't protect this wall. We let the water in, and then we have the drain inside. And here we have this chamber. I am recording, Tyler. You have this chamber here, so that all the water that filters, it's retrieved in this channel, and then we go out. And of course, we cannot have the water flowing through the wall. That will be disgusting. And then we need to create like a second wall here. So basically we have a chamber here. We don't protect this wall, this concrete wall. And then we let the water enter the building. Here we have this chamber, and this is the wall that is protected. Some people say, including some of my teachers, they claim that this is a better solution that placing the waterproof elements outside. Because they say, and it's true, that the waterproof will end up collapsing. Okay, so in 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years maximum, this waterproof layer will break, will tear. There will be, so it will be destroyed because it lasts only 10 to 15 years, this kind of materials. And well, if this waterproof layer doesn't exist anymore, then all the moisture will end up being inside the building. So we can assume that. So that's why we can build a different wall here. And then if we assume that the water will end up entering the building, then we have this channel inside the building, and then we get rid of the water. I don't know. You can use both. Okay, so you can have all this waterproof here outside, and then you can have this extra safety measurement or measure. It's more expensive, but it's better, and money doesn't matter here so far. Anyway, I'm not asking you to do this because this is not usual. I think this is better. Especially, it would be better if we had both. If we had all this stuff outside the building and then all this stuff inside the building, but that would be a lot much more expensive. But this is the idea. We can protect the wall, the basement wall, against water outside, or we can assume that this wall is going to let the water in, and then we protect inside. Up to you. So this is the only detail that it's different. Okay, so all these details are the same. We have the waterproof protection outside the wall, and this is the only one that has the waterproof protection inside the wall. Anyway, you have this on Canvas, and I have uploaded on Canvas another document so that you can, well, you can copy, or at least you can take some ideas from this. And it's about these samples of bioclimatic analysis. So this is what I expect. If you think that there's another perspective, or you don't like what I did on Tuesday, you can try something different, and I would appreciate that. And here, so here we have, as you can see, here we have winter equinox and summer sun. We have optional PV panels in this roof here. So it's kind of the roof we have on our building. And then we have natural ventilation, gardens, and well, we don't have an outdoor fireplace, but we have the natural ventilation and the outdoor gardens. Anyway, you can try different things. And here, what do we need? So we need ventilation. We can have heating loads. We have people. Well, I think I showed you how to do this, the Revit path, and how to work with silhouettes. This is a tutorial that if you follow the lesson on Tuesday, I think it's better than this. But you can take some ideas from these projects. It can be just a section like that, or it can be an axonometric view, or a perspective like this. The idea is that we need all these 4 elements: the sun, the air, the water, and some trees or some green areas, and people for sure. There you go. So let's continue with this. So we want to, so I want another section. So I want a section through this wall here, because we have to explain this. This is not explained yet. So we have explained all these. We have explained how this roof is built with all the elements, but we have not explained this connection, this wall. We have the curtain wall here. We have this floating element, like a sail, something like that. And how do we work with this? And then we have the basement, and you have to, we need a call out with all these basement here. So first we have to create a section, view. Okay, so this is the section 4. And here we have all the elements that we're going to define now. And there will be at least 2 callouts. We have a callout here on the roof, and there will be another callout there. I'm not going to explain this one because I have posted that file on Canvas so that you can copy this. I explained how to create all the layers, but today I'm going to explain this, which is more difficult, I think. So first we need to create a fine detail. We need a right scale. 1/2, okay, better. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff here to do. This is the curtain wall. This is the truss, and this is the beam. This is the column, and these are the mullions for the curtain wall. And this is this floating element that I'm going to change slightly this because I want to, now this is floating, as you can see on that view. Okay, so there is nothing holding this element. And this is not feasible. We need a structure. And I'm going to create a structure that since I place this here, we don't have space for any structural element. So I'm going to delete all these elements, and I'm going to do it again. And this is, I'm doing this because when we are in the middle of a design process, sometimes the shortest way to solve an issue is to delete everything, well, not everything, but to start from scratch. If I try to do something here, it won't work. So I'm going to redesign this wall, and then I will copy this wall again. But what I want is to separate this wall because I need structural elements from this column. So this column is exposed to outside. Okay, so we have the columns here. Well, it is exposed. It is not because you see the curtain wall is here. So according to my drawing, I don't know what you have done, but according to my drawing, we don't have any space between this curtain wall and the other one. I'm going to change this as well. So let's change it. I'm going to select the front view. I'm going to edit profile of this wall. And then I'm going to move it here. And finish. Okay, so I'm opening something so that I'm exposing the structure, the steel column. And now I have to select this one. This one, front. I think if I use hidden line, easy. Edit profile. I select this and I move it. And finish. Okay, I want this steel because from that steel I'm going to bring a horizontal structure to hold the other wall. And I'm going to do the same here. Edit. And there you go. You should have to do the same with the rest of the walls. I'm going to do that here because I have only this section. And now on this level 12, yeah, so this is what I wanted. It's not, okay, so this is correct, but this is not. I'm going to move this one. Yes, I think the issue is here. I edit profile again. And I move it. Selection. Okay, so now level 12, that's better. So I want a free space here from this column because I'm going to go all the way out from this point. And what do I need? I need a beam, so I can go to steel, to structure, beam. And I think this is the one that I have already used. So from this point, I want to go out. And I want to go out from this point as well. Okay. And now, I think this is too long. So I'm going to make it shorter. Yes. I need a beam to hold that wall because the wall is going to follow this path. So now I need a beam here. But first, I think I'm going to do the wall. So we'll go to architecture, wall. We have this basic wall, basketball 2, because it's just a sandwich panel, rigid insulation, and aluminum and aluminum. We have 6 inches. Maybe it's too much. Let's keep to 6 inches. So I want to work with the wall, and I want to start with this tangent and arch. We are on level 12. Okay. And why isn't it? I'm going to start here, and then I move to the tangent. Maybe I will not be so aggressive with the shape. Okay, it's basically the same, but I wanted to, because in the other case I started here just close to the curtain wall, and I want this gap. And I can extend this a little. Yeah, we can extend this beyond this element here and there. There we go. I move this down. And now I can do something, well, let me see on the 3D what I've done. Maybe the top. Okay. I want to move this down so I can the base offset, I can move down, one. One. Okay, so you see that I want to go at least, yeah. So I want to go beyond this. Can I use a line? Or that will be better. And then the top base, I want to go up to this point. So I click a line here. This is the bottom chord of the truss. And then I want to align everything here. There you go. Good. Okay, so now we have a gap here. And if we look at the level 12, yeah, now I'm going to build a steel beam with this shape. And I have to select structure, beam, and I can select these pick lines. And if you pick lines, you can pick all these lines, and then you are creating that beam. Good. What's this? Is it an issue? I don't know. Let's see if I can select a line. Right. I see. I'm going to do it again because probably this is happening because the wall is not accurate here. I'm going to create a wall, this tangent. Okay. So probably if the wall is not perfectly tangent here, we will have this issue. So I create a structure again, beam, pick lines. I select this one, and this one, and this, and this. That's perfect. And now I align. Select the wall. as you can see, there's a gap because, well, eventually we will need to, we can't have a beam with this shape. So we need to create those parts and then we need to weld or connect those little beams together. So that's why we have a gap here. It's for the weld. Anyway, it works. And now we have this and this. Okay. So you see that now here we have the structure. It goes, so we need this vertical structural element, the column. Then here we select this horizontal structural element, that makes sense. And then we have this curved beam, and this curved beam is holding the wall. Okay, so if we do the same at the top of the wall, well, it's not the best solution maybe, but at least it's feasible, so it won't fall. Okay, because we need a support for this element. I think I have to align again. This. Now if I could copy all this stuff and move it up, it would be great. We have to remove constraints. Then probably I have to do it from the elevation. North, west. Oh, I can do it from the section. On section 4, I can select all these. We don't need to select this one, and I don't need to select that one. And now I can copy the constraint from the top of this beam to the top of that beam. There you go. Okay. Oh, I have copied only. Come on. Yes, you can. So now we have these two beams and we have that. And now if we want to make it perfect, we can use the steel meter. We have to enjoy when things are working well and connections are perfect. It gives you like a little pleasure. So if you don't feel this, I know it's tough to, but when you are working on that and at the end you have a good result, it's like, wow, I did it. Maybe you don't, but I feel that way. And now we have to go to steel meter. Yeah. And here we should do the same with this steel meter. And here. Okay, now at least we might need more elements, especially vertical elements or more horizontal elements, but at least we have something that it's not falling, it's not floating, because we have 4 points to hold the that wall. Okay, so let's go back to our section, and this is our section, and I'm going to use shaded to see what I'm doing. I'm going to extend those levels. Yep. And what do we need now? Well, here I did it previously. You might find in your section that this roof is up to this point. Okay, so this is the curtain wall, and this is the roof that we created. And there is a gap here. So here it drains, and this is inside the building because the curtain wall is what separates inside and outside. So make sure that you move this at least up to this level because we need to close that gap. And well, at this point, I think it's good for the section, and then we need to work with the callouts. Okay, so when we are preparing the 4th sheet, we can insert this section. I don't know what the scale was for the first one. The scale is 3/8. Okay, so we have to work with 3/8. So here we can drag this section. Where is it? Section 4. We can do something similar with this. We can duplicate this view. we can create, rename it. This is action 4. I don't want the sun path. Search box. Oh, small. Okay, let's try the same idea. There will be a section here, then the perspective and axonometric view, then the section, and here we will have the callouts. I think we can do something better for this, because when I was looking at this this view, this one, I think it's better if we, no, okay, because we need to open a window in the basement. No, it's not here. So working on section 4, I think it would be better if we edit this element, edit in place, and then edit the extrusion. Let's lower this down a bit. And now this one, edit in place, select, edit extrusion, and then move it down. Because I want to open a window here in the basement. Okay, so I lower the level of the grade, and then I want a tiny window here that is good for ventilation and for natural lighting of the basement. Okay, so I'm going to create a different small window here, and I have to do it in .plan, and that is view, plan views. Oh, it's level -10. Yeah, level -10 is the basement level. Where is the section? I'm going to need a window, architecture window. Just a tiny window here. What are the sizes? 2 by 11. Let's try this. Here. And let's see in section 2. I think it's the one. Here is the window. This is 211. This is 11 by 2. And now the section. Okay, I have to move it up. Level -10. Seal height, let's say 6 feet. Is too big, so I'm going to edit type, duplicate, and this is 2 feet. I want just 1 foot. Okay, and now the height, I want just a foot. The width can be 11. Maybe 10. Something like that. I want a window here for nature light, but something tiny. It's a foot. Something. But I think it will be better. And then we need to move this down, because otherwise we will hide the window. This is the waterproof layer. And obviously this is not the right place. Yeah, it has to be between 2 columns. Okay, so that works. And now I can copy this window as many times as we need. Okay, and now on section 4, I want the first call out. View call out. Here. And now I have to work with this. This is the curtain wall. This is the thermal insulation. This is a sandwich panel. So we have to do the same thing we did here. We need the ceiling, and we will need flashing here, because we need to protect this roof. Now this roof is exposed, so we need like a cap going down and overlapping the curtain wall. Okay, so we need to work with this. Let's work with the hidden line. And yeah, there are different things we can do here. So first, I want go to visibility graphics and the structural thing. The structural columns and the structural framing. I want this to be solid black. Okay. Yeah, because I need to understand where the section is. Okay, so now all the structural framing elements, they are black because this is the section. Then this one, I can use the masking region, annotate, masking region, and I can turn this into yellow. And now override graphics. It's always solid and 250. And this is the thermal insulation, and this is thermal insulation as well. So I have to go to region. Override view. Visible material. Okay, so first I need to differentiate what the section is. This is the section, so I need this to be black or a hatch, something to make that makes me understand that this is the section element. I need to know where the thermal insulation is. This is the thermal insulation. And finally, this is the curtain wall. So if we want to insert the curtain wall, we can insert a detail component. And do we have the storefront double glazing, a typical mullion. This one here. But this is here. By the way, I placed this the other way around because this is the glass and this is the mullion. Okay, so it's just the other way around. This way. Okay. And here I need the other one. I need the gap component detail. This is the finish section. It has to be here, but now I have to rotate this. Do you have this detail on your laptop or you don't? I think I had posted something. I'm going to, okay, at the end of the lesson, I will post this, this detail, this family. It has to be here, and there should be a glass going down. Okay, so if we don't have it, we can always work with a detail line. And we have to move this. this line. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have a glass element there. And we need to extend more lines downwards, and now copy. Multiple. There you go. Okay, so this is the curtain wall, this is the top mullion, and this is the middle one with glass here and glass there. What else? Yeah, we need another flashing element here. How can we do that? I think we have to go to detail line again. And I will do something like this. Now, offset, something very thin, 1/4. Offset this, and that. Now trim and finish it. Okay, this is always the same idea. We need to cover this with a gap, and we need to prevent the water from going that way inside. So here we have a, and well, this is a detail line. The problem is that this is not a 3D object, and probably we need to go up and cover all this roof. What I need now is a masking region or a fill region, and I'm going to trace this now. Here, and now I want to override graphics. This is the surface by material. This diagonal down, apply. Okay, and probably I want the background gray. And this is a cap, so it's covering all this corner. So I will go to annotate, detail line, and now with 2 regions. We need to seal this here. So I'm working with another detail line. But this is an arch because I want to get this. Oh, sorry. This should be region. Region. You go in now. This has to be alt. And one of those should be the same hidden line. So this is another detail line, but this has to be hidden. Okay, and now we should work with this, but I have to select all lines. Okay, you can do that because we did it last week. You have to turn this into a thicker line because this is the waterproof layer. Okay, so now it looks well because this is the roof. Then we have this cap covering this, so the water falls here. It goes down, and if it goes that way, we move it down and out of the curtain wall. This is the curtain wall with the glass here. And then we would need to fill something here with thermal insulation because we have weak points here and we might fill this with thermal insulation. How can we do that with regions? Okay, so we need to prevent these two elements from getting in contact to each other. So that's why we need something here. We have the curtain wall, this is the curtain wall, and this is the indoor steel structure. So anytime we have a risk that these two elements can be in contact, we need to place something here. And I think this would be even better if we do. Yeah, I'm going to create a masking region. Just a rectangle. Go. And now that should be the thermal insulation. And probably this has to be 4. Okay, so every time we can have a contact between the curtain wall and the indoor structure, we need like a thermal insulation here. And finally, we can have, so we're almost done with this. Now we need to place the text, but I think the text will be pretty much the same as we did last time with the other detail. Okay, I know what we need here. Let's create another region. Well, first the detail line, because we might need another gap here. And now offset. So every time we have something exposed, we need a cap, and we need to move the water down and out. So if we didn't have this, the water could stay here, and that eventually it will cause some trouble. If we have that slope and we have this tiny element here, so the water falls, it moves, and it goes out. And here, the same, it moves and it goes out. And once we have all these, yeah. So if we have one of these roofs, the rainwater has to go down. Okay, so we know that we need to go down. We can place this inside the building. I'm not very fond of this. Well, let's analyze this detail on the 3D section, the 3D view, because we have a gutter. And I told you that it's good. The water, yeah, with this shape, the water will come down, and then we need a gutter, and then we need to get rid of the water in this way. But is it acceptable that we have this and then the water pours this way? In some areas, well, in civilized countries, this is not acceptable. So we need to lead the water downwards, and that's why we need a pipe. Okay, we need a what do you call this? A stack, a pipe that goes down. So this is the gutter. The water will end up here. We are outside the building. That's fine, but then the water cannot go out this way. So we need to lead the water downwards up to the soil. So how can we do that? Well, that's another challenge, and I'm going to try to do it now. So let's use the west elevation, no, the west, no, the north, no, it's the south. Yeah. So this is the gutter, and then the water goes down because of that slope. We have the gutter, and then it goes perpendicularly to the screen, and then it goes out of the building. But this is not acceptable, and we need to get the water. We need a pipe, and we can go down directly. But if we have this element, I think it's good because we can hide the this element or this pipe going down. We can hide it, or we can show this. If we, I always show the Centre Georges Pompidou in Paris, because this, okay, so this element was like, or this building was like unique because they decided, the architect decided to show the gutters, the pipes, so everything is exposed here. So it's like if you remove the skin for a human being, you will end up being the skeleton, all the veins. It will be disgusting. Okay, so this is what they did with the building. So they removed the envelope and they exposed the structural elements and the pipes and the ducts and everything. It's an option. As you can see, we have probably those are the rain pipes, and we need to lead the water downwards to a tank or whatever. Well, we are not doing this because this is too aggressive for this exercise, and we are going to hide this element. And that's why we have these sails here. So we're going to get the water here, then we will need a pipe, and then we will hide this behind that screen that we have here. Okay, so let's do it. How can we do that? I think we can use an extrusion. Yeah, let's do this. But at the same time, we have to be careful because we do have a structural element here. Okay. In this wireframe view, somewhere we will have that pin here. Okay, so we have to avoid this. So we have to go down and then move leftwards. Okay, what is this grid? This is grid H. I'm going to create a new one. So this is the beam. So we have a gutter here, and then we have to go leftwards to avoid this beam. Okay, let's try. This is the south, and I'm here. I'm going to create an architecture component. I'm not using pipes because I don't have the families here. We should do this using the pipe that we used in systems, but I don't have any systems here. So I will use the place component. No, the place, the model in place. But here we do have pipe accessories. Okay, and I'm going to use extrusion, and I'm going to set the plane in grid K, the one that I have just created. And now I'm going to make up something. So I have to go down, then I have to go here. And finally down. And this can be 3 inches. 3 inches. And then I go up. I can use the offset, 3 inches. It's closed. And now in the 3D view, try to do something square. So as you can see, this is the gutter and this is the pipe, but I need to save this beam here. So that's why I have this shape. And then it goes all the way down up to the ground. And it can be underground. Okay, so in this call out, we see this. And we can use the shaded system. So I think now we have all the elements that we need here. So we can insert the text. Text here. So this is aluminum coating. And we copy. Now you have to define the roof as we did last week. And the roof with all these layers, the waterproof layers, the aluminum, the thermal insulation, the sandwich panel, everything here. Then you have to define the curtain wall. This is the mullion. Wall. Copy. This is the double glass. And I think we can define ceiling. This is the gutter. It was downspout. I don't remember if this was the and that's it. So now, what is the scale of the callouts? Is 3:1. What works? And finally, we need another callout. Section 4. Here. There you go.